on some history on her if you want to look at it, but let's go focus on this picture. So here's Ava Braun. And again, this is going to be very difficult to wrap your mind around, but we're going to start with this gentleman here. I'm looking for Deanna Durbin movies and pictures of Deanna Durbin, and here I find the gentleman who looks strikingly like him, and his name is John King. He's tall, taller than Deanna Durbin, here taller than Ava Braun. She may be sitting though. Same kind of quality of hair, dark black, same look to the face, a little bit of a pointy nose, same closed mouth. This really looks like the same person over here, but if you're not convinced, we're going to go in a circle. If you're not convinced with him, this one should nail it for you. This is Deanna Durbin again, and this is Franchot Tone. It's an actor, and this one is 100% match here. Look at the hair, the brow, the chin, everything on this gentleman matches this gentleman. Maybe they add a little prosthetic nose here. I can't tell. It's a little bit blurry. The picture's blurry. So we have two of them now. Again, this is Deanna Durbin, Ava Braun, and we've got two of them so far. We'll move down the row. Benny Barnes played in films with Deanna Durbin, and I'm making out this woman to be Benny Barnes. Same kind of look about them, albeit here they show her more made up and with the eyebrows, but very similar features. Charles Winninger shows up in movies with Deanna Durbin, and here he is facing Benny Barnes, or whoever this woman's other identity is. And you can look up other pictures of this gentleman. This one just happened to have Deanna Durbin in it, but there's a couple better ones. But here it's an older gentleman with a little bit of thinning hair. Here they may have darkened it up a little, but this is the same gentleman. And this is that guy Fagelin. And here's Deanna Durbin with Joe Pasternak, and there is striking resemblance between Joe Pasternak and the Nazi Fagelin. Pasternak was an actor and a director. So I have identified 5 out of the 6. I believe I have the 6th one here as well. I'll do her in a second, but again, notice the vast similarities I have found between these people in this photograph, and this is a staged photograph. This is Ava Braun, who is Deanna Durbin. This woman I get to make a guess on, and my belief is that it's Rosalind Russell. How do I come to that? Well, I looked for a full-figured woman, as we've heard in the past. This is a bigger woman. She's fleshier. She's got more meat on her bones. She's got bigger shoulders. And that was Rosalind Russell in her day. She shows up in films with Deanna Durbin, and the same kind of quality of hair, dark hair. Here they've tied it in some kind of bun, but it's long and it's lush, and I believe that this is the same woman. All right, so we need more evidence. If that's not enough evidence, we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you who these two people are, and this man here is a Nazi. So here's Bettina Hansford, who I've identified as Deanna Durbin, Ava Braun, Hitler's mistress, wife, and we're going to identify those people. We do photo analysis here. And can you tell me what is the relationship between Bettina Hansford and these two people? And ignore this man. This is Dr. Frankenstein, who is Nobby Clark, and he doesn't play into this, but we're looking at these 3 people. And I will tell you that this appears to be a father, mother, and daughter. And here this gentleman, I'll tell you who he is in a second, has his hand on this woman, and he has his hand on Bettina Hansford. I couldn't figure it out. That arm looks much longer over here, but this is his hand. It really can't be anybody else's. And I figured him for working in the studio. He's dressed brightly, nice. She's dressed brightly. Everybody else has some. She looks like she's walked in for the photo. She's smoking a cigarette. Nobody wants to stand next to her. But this looks like the husband. This is the wife, and this is the daughter. And so this is a man I identified. He's from the photo. He's identified as George Hawthorne of Moor Hall Studios, and the man in the photo here appears to be the same gentleman. Again, I believe he worked in the studios. He looks like he's there for a reason, and this is the most similar person. in the photograph. So this will turn out to be the father of Bettina Hansford, aka Deanna Durbin, aka Ava Braun. Now, in all fairness, this girl could be a niece or a cousin, but again, my belief is that's his daughter. He's very familiar with her. So we want a little bit of help here. So we're going to look up Ava Braun and see if we can't get a couple more clues as to who the father is, what Nazi. So we look up Ava Braun, and we see here, what do we have? Martin Bormann, right between Adolf Hitler and Joseph Goebbels. And Martin Bormann looks strikingly like George Hawthorne. I mean, this is virtually identical. And they may have applied something here, but not that you could tell in this photo. And I can't tell you exactly why, but these two people look virtually identical. In a couple other photos, they look like they've done a better job disguising Martin Bormann, but not much better. So the Martin Bormann photo probably taken in the late 30s, early 40s, and this photo's in the late 40s. So, again, here's Martin Bormann. This woman, I'm guessing, is Gerda Buch, the wife of Martin Bormann. They look sort of similar. There's other photos, but as blurred as this is, I think it really showed the features the best. You can go look it up and see if you can figure it out. Don't forget, there's other people in this picture I haven't had a chance to work on. Martin Bormann was head of the Nazi Party Chancellor and secretary to Adolf Hitler. So here's another picture of Martin Bormann. Here he looks more sinister than George Hawthorne. They've added some appliances. They've made him look grim. They've darkened the eyes. But what they didn't do is get rid of the ears. And this is a really big clue. And somebody really good with ears could take a look at this and identify that it is the same person. Now, if you're just starting looking at identifying people, here the ear is backwards. He's at like a 45-degree angle. Here he's at a 90-degree angle. So the ear is going to be set back, but it is a very rounded ear, and it looks sort of circular, and we have the same thing here. This is a really good shot. And you could adjust this by adjusting some Photoshop features to make them look similar, but this is a pretty good match here, considering how old the photos are and grainy. All right, so are there other Nazis at Moor Studios? Yes, there are, and there's somebody in this photo, and this is a gentleman named Pat Griffin. Somebody asked me if I could find Nazi Albert Speer, who is the Nazi Minister of Armaments and War Production, and I said he looks familiar, and I had studied the Moor photos, and I identified him as Albert Speer. There's a couple more photos coming. FYI, very, very uncool to find this guy sitting at the same table with Albert Speer, the guy who played Albert Speer, the Nazi. And I'll show this in a later video. Very, very uncool. And this guy too, and I'll show you who he is in a later video. Also bad, but this is really ugly, and they should never have been seen in a photo together. Nobody predicted the internet. Nobody predicted that somebody like myself could sit here and analyze photos and figure out what really went on. So what I've done with these pictures is reverse the images. Now, I'm not clear whether these were the original or these were the original, but it's just easier to look at this gentleman in reverse. And, you know, it looks like they've applied, again, another prosthetic here, because, again, the face is fuller. There's a mask-like effect, almost like that Hannibal Lecter wearing that that mask when they roll him out, and I think it was Silence of the Lambs. So, but you can sort of see that there's something on his face. There's appliances here. Here, no, I mean the chin is narrower. This is a more striking look, but it's this bald spot that that really does it here. And you can see it over here. They make no attempt to conceal it. And I got another picture, again, very cool with this guy on here. And, you know, almost looks like he had some sort of hair plugs put in here. And I probably could have done something to flip it around or something like that. But this is Albert Speer here. And you can see the hair sort of separating. And there is sort of the same look here on the hair, like they stuck it in over here and it bunched up in two separate places. So so the question is, why use actors? Why not use real Nazis? Well, there's a good reason for that. You have people who died toward the end of the to the end of the war, so you've created a war here where millions of people are killed, literally tens of millions of people, destruction, murder, nuclear bombs. It's horrible. And the people who really conducted the war got away virtually scot-free. And the people who you believe conducted the war were all actors. Maybe there was a couple who were not, but all the major ones. And I'm going to show you virtually every major person of World War II who was a Nazi was some sort of actor. I'm going to give you all of them in a couple more videos. So, but again, here is this guy Fagelen, and he dies 2 days before Hitler's suicide. He's shot. And this is Eva Braun, who is dies biting a cyanide capsule 40 hours after she gets married with Hitler. And then here's Martin Bormann, who I believe they still didn't know who he is or where he is. And there's this guy Fagelen, who I can't recall exactly what happened to him. But these people get away scot-free. And not to be glib, but you watch movies like Die Hard, and here's they're gonna he's stealing a bunch of money from a building, and he pretends he's an international terrorist and wants all these people released, but in fact he's just committing a robbery, and he's stealing lots and lots of money. And Bruce Willis says to him, "So that's what this is about, Hans? An effing robbery? Why'd you have to nuke the whole building, Hans?" And he says, "Well, when you steal $600, you can just disappear. When you steal 600 million, they will find you unless they think you're already dead." So all these people who they set them up in photo shoots, most of them have very little to do with the war. They're merely actors and actresses. They did not conduct the war. The people who conducted the war got away scot-free, and they came over in Operation Paperclip, and you're left with more questions than I can possibly answer for you right now in this video. If you're not sure if what I'm showing is real, I understand. What I'm going to do is pull out another photograph. This is from another movie studio, and I will identify most of the people in this picture for you, and perhaps that will convince you.